Because all of my colleges and high schools and all that stuff, they asked me, they said, Heather, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to be a drug dealer. And I was a great drug dealer. And my street name was Sweet and Low, because I love Sweet and Low. And I sold cardiovascular drugs. So all of you old men at that table, I'm sure you are on some sort of blood pressure medicine. Right? Blood pressure, right? So, Prilosec, ironically, I actually sold for AstraZeneca, so I actually sold Prilosec, and then like a week later I had to turn around and bash the gold standard and start selling Nexium. So I'm like, although last week I was saying how great Nexium is, but now, Prilosec was, now it's like, we now have something better. But anyway, so I sold cardiovascular and gastrointestinal. And of course, I found that all the doctors that had more initials at the end of their name were more pretentious. So if you had more than the 26 letters of the alphabet, you were more obnoxious. So anyway, so we had to have these meals where we would have these doctors come and then they would talk to other doctors. And of course, the drug reps were there to not, quote, sell, but promote, not in a full sales cycle. It was all very shady. But anyway, so part of that was that we would take out a restaurant and then we would go to other local places and we get little desserts and whatnot. And it was all boosting all the economy. It was, again, very shady. One of the pretentious doctors came up to me, and I was practically a doctor. I had had 6 weeks of pharmaceutical training.
I stand on the express.
So I am practically a doctor. Ask me anything. So sure enough, one of these doctors told me, he asked me, and I don't really tell jokes, but of course, everything was so hilarious. And he asked me, he said, how are pharmaceutical reps and lawyers different? And I was like, I don't know, doctor. Because I wasn't like a, sorority girl or anything. I was just like kind of a lump. And I'm like, how did I get this job? But anyway, so he asked me and I said, I don't know. And he's like, well, pharmaceutical reps don't know that they're lying. And I was like, an asshole. Anyway, so then of course when they asked me what drugs are you selling, and they all asked me, Sweet and Low, what drugs are you selling? Are you selling Viagra? And I was like, no. And then like, can you sell drugs to get you high? And I was like, I can sell you drugs to get you like low blood pressure. But then he asked me, this one who basically he had, I'm pretty sure he's on the spectrum. He asked me, he was like, what is the, route, the pathway for this drug? And I was like, I don't know. I am a doctor with 6 weeks, but I don't know. That's not my drug. It wasn't in the manual. Then he's like, okay, well then what about this neural pathway for this drug? And I'm like, again, I sell these like 4 drugs. So like we can limit the scope to these 4 drugs in this here manual per prescription insert. That'd be great. So anyway, he kept asking me all these things. And then he asked me, and again, I'm like, this dude is totally on the spectrum, and I have to like fluff him to get him to buy medicines. Anyway, so he asked me then, he goes, well, what is the generic name for Viagra? And I was like, I don't know. And again, I'm thinking, just humor him. And then he goes, well, it's Moxifloxacin. And I was like, and then he started to smile, and I was like, oh my God, like he's not on the spectrum. Like he actually has a sense of humor. You guys get it, right? Moxifloxacin.
Yeah.
That's not. Don't use that in a setting of higher echelon people. That's not it anyway. Anyway, so back to the South Bend Chocolate Factory. My counterpart, Bob, who Bob is not a short man, but he's I don't know, whatever height he is. But no, Bob is like hilarious. He's from South Carolina, and he's somebody, who like in a three-piece suit. We looked like little penguins walking in our little suits. But anyway, he went over to Fannie Mae across the street, and we had to get these little chocolates for this dinner at the LaSalle Grill. And he went over there, and I'm like, Bob, simple assignment, go pick out 2 chocolates, we're gonna put them at every table, it'll be fine. Bob said, got it. Goes over there, and he's over there, South Carolina, y'all. He's over there talking, blah, blah, blah. And I'm over at, you know, the Vine and like something chocolate cafe. And I'm over there trying to look busy, but not really. And this is like early 2000s. So sure enough, Bob comes back, and I'm like, what'd you buy, Bob? And he goes, I bought 100 key lime pie chocolates.
See, key lime pie itself.
Key lime pie and lemon chiffon chocolates. And I'm like, Bob, you could not have chosen 2 more diverse. People either love or hate key lime pie. They love or hate lemon chiffon. Those are the 2 most diverse for all these people. You just totally blew. Wow.
So
wow.
it's like a live, like.
And so then I went over there and I'm Miss Business, you know, because I'm in my early, well, space-time continuum, I would have been 2 if it was early 2000. So anyway, I go over there and I was like, cancel it, shut it down. Bob, you go over there and think about what you did, sit down. And I canceled that order, and I marched back over to the South Bend Chocolate Factory, and I said, listen, this is urgent. Can you handle this? This is a lot of money. It's a big business. There's lots of people. We need the general, what everybody loves. We need caramel chocolates. Can you do that? And they're like, yes. And I'm like, I need 100 of them. I need them by 9 at 6 o'clock. I'm like, yes. And I'm like, okay, next we need peanut butter and toffee. And they're like, yes, we can do that. And I'm like, awesome. I'm amazing. I'm a businesswoman. I'm going to rule the world. Never will I ever end up in front of a microphone in front of people I don't know at 8 o'clock at night on a Saturday night. So sure enough, I go to leave. And I'm like, I'm amazing. I'm going to rule the world. And as I go to leave, and all these people are amazed by this girl with all this potential. And as I go to leave, I don't know if you know, but there's these glass things full of all these candies and cakes. And as you walk out towards the street level, there's these 3 little steps. Excuse me 1 second. Jay and my friends at the back table, please turn your attention to the front. Thank you. Anyway, I don't know why I have a southern accent all of a sudden, but that's what's happening. Anyway, so sure enough, as I go to leave and I'm walking out, this businesswoman, there's these 3 steps, but my full foundation face and all this makeup, I caught a glimpse of all these goodies. As I went to step down, I was like, oh, look at all that. And I stepped and I missed that first little step down.
Oh, no.
And I fell into the case. And then my CoverGirl foundation stuck onto that case. And I was still with the inertia going down. And then my face happened to do this smack, bop, down.
Oh, no.
And I
You
fell on all 4s with my briefcase coming with me. And now I'm on all 4s with my ass in the air. And then my face still stuck on the glass, which is that curve, that Studebaker curve. So I went down, and I literally smacked and went down. And when I hit the ground on all 4s, my body shot forward into the double doors.
Oh no.
And my head opened the double doors, and that stupid little chime went off. So if you didn't see me make this epic fall, you got to hear the little welcome chimes go off the bells. And everybody looked, and I immediately jumped up to try to recover my dignity at 5 foot tall. And Sweetlow jumped up and I said, oh, I said, are you okay? And then I turned around and I said, oh, it's me. I'm fine. And then I walked out with all the pride that I had across the street to go get Bob from his thinking space. To chastise him once again for all my humiliation. And I fully recovered and continued to be a pharmaceutical sales rep for another, 4 or 5 years. And now I'm good.
Yay! Subscribe for part 2.
So I apologize for quickly jumping into my southern accent, but I will tell you, since I haven't told you too much, but my nephew and I were just kayaking on a lake up in Michigan,
It's the best lake ever.
And we went through.
A kayak there.
We went through.
Magician.
We went underneath a little bridge.
Fucking fantastic.
We went underneath a
And then you
little
buy 2
bridge.
fucking kayaks.
Ma'am, it's been overserved in the corner.
I have them. I have
So
them.
we went underneath a bridge.
You need another one?
Magician.
Oh, you need another one.
Pretty soon.
And
Okay,
as we
I want
went
it.
underneath, we came out the other side, and there was a pontoon boat. And the name of the pontoon boat actually had on it, it said Sweetwater Godfrey. And I don't know if that's a name of a brand or something. But my 12-year-old nephew didn't look at it once because he's 12.
Yeah, that's very much so.
But I thought, you know what? That is going to be my new swear word in front of children for the rest of my life. And I went to my nephew and I said, well, Sweetwater Godfrey, I can't believe that we made it through that bridge. And he looked at me like, I knew you were crazy, you dumb bitch. Well, Sweetwater Godfrey, I can't believe you used that kind of language in front of me. And sure enough, if you're ever stuck in front of a kid and you stub your toe or hit yourself with some sort of tool, just use the word, because I know it's going to be hard when the F word has just one syllable and it's so quick and so easy. All of them have one syllable. Just use, let's see how many, Sweetwater Godfrey. And it's so much easier because I found myself using, shit balls and peanut butter and bed and all these other kind of things. But Sweetwater Godfrey, it just sounds so genteel. But anyway, I'll leave you with that. So, Sweetwater Godfrey, I'm Heather, and thank you for listening.
Sweetwater Godfrey. Give it up to Heather, everybody. We're gonna keep it going here on BJ Woodcocks. That's my actual name. Yeah, that's my actual name, guys. Yeah, alright, everybody. So I got some jokes for you tonight. Woo! Alright, so I got some neighbor kid bullies. Oh, yeah, I got some neighbor. I bought a house back, 2020. Something happened. I bought a house. That's what happened. I'm a homeowner, and I got 2 7-year-old kids on their bikes. Shing, shing, shing. We're on bikes. Ching, ching. Playing in the leaves, doing as kids do. I'm saying, you guys got to get out of here. So they did. Long story short, I'll get you some other funny jokes. I just got out of the emergency room last night. What up? True story. They made me wait 5 hours.
You ran into a Honda.
Ran into a Honda. That's a good punchline. My Honda died on me. That's why I'm wearing this Honda belt right now. In tribute. I was walking to work. You ever walked to work before? It's cool. I was walking to work at a dispensary up in Hartford, Michigan. We got a cannabis friendly crowd. That's cool. But you know what? I'm on a new level. So you know what? I'm living with my parents again.
Congratulations.
You get that? Hold on to that. I'm actually renting the house while I'm seeing the parents, but they came out tonight. Oh shoot, they didn't come out tonight. Oh my goodness. They came out here tonight and saw the improv show just like you all did. Thank you guys for coming out. Either way, so anyways, I'm a man of many hats. I had 20 jobs in the last 10 years.
Yeah!
I got a lot of hats, but I got a lot of songs too. I'm a singer-songwriter. Surprise! I got this song called Girl, I'ma Make You a Sandwich.
Yeah, you
I've sang this song about 4 million times now, and it never gets old.
4,000,001!
4,000,001, oh shit, yeah. Girl, I'ma make you a sandwich. Alright, so that's too sensual. Back to the jokes. We got the lighters out, we got the phone. Actually, you know what, guys? I got some real jokes that I've been working on, besides just coming out of the, coming out of the ER, but hey, it's cool. Anyways, I think sex is like a train station.
Why?
All right, there's a lot of explaining to do, so first off, you gotta get your ticket, right? And that's what consent is. I got a lot of euphemisms coming up. Once you got that consent, you're ready to ride. I've had sex twice this year.
Yay!
With 2 different people.
Was it Express?
Yeah. Express. Just like the men's store, or women at the mall, I go to the mall sometimes. But so I had to express myself with, the art of, love making. Ooh, all right, sweet. Thing is, I've had my first girlfriend when I was basically 23. But the first sexual encounter, this will turn everybody on, right?
Let's hear it.
DJ Woodcock's sex story. So I'm 20 years old, Daytona Beach. Dirty, but not in this beautiful blonde woman's direction there, I see. My friend says, hey, go light a cigarette with her. I'm like, all right, sweet. And we started the cigarette. Next thing I know, she's got 4 kids that are my age.
Perfect.
I know, I'm 20 years old at the time. And she bought me 6 Jack and Cokes. That's gotta be like $40, right? Woo! So anyways, we're talking, well she's talking, telling me about her kids, thinks it's awesome, I'm from Indiana, and I'm like, yeah, we got something, baby!
Yeah!
So we're doing it. Basically, we're up at her place, listening to Jason Aldean. And I'm like, look what he didn't show up to play that night. What? That was for my erectile dysfunction jokes. Exactly. That's what's going on in my head right now. Anyways, I told my dad, I said, hey Dad, I did it. I'm proud. I had an experience, I think. And he's like, don't ever tell your mom. And I'm like, well, I'm telling everybody. I'm BJ Woodcocks. I got more jokes. Well, anyway, do I have more time? It's been 5 minutes. Y'all want another 5?
Let's hear it.
All right, y'all. So, I got, I was thinking, she's like scary beautiful. I write the punchlines, actually. Sometimes, saw this, magazine. I was scared.
Scared of what?
How beautiful this model was. Like,
I'm sorry.
I was saying, like, she had that face where she's like, yeah, like, the smile, and like, ooh. Like, she might kill me. So, she's scary and beautiful. Hey, you know what? I'm on the phone. I'm on hold sometimes, and it says, dear valued customer. I'm like, wow, they didn't even have the decency to give me my actual name. These they're always mailing stuff. I'm like, I'm not this person. Yeah, so, it's my joke. Anyways, I do have, man, I'm just thinking, I got too many jokes sometimes. Anyways, guys, I got a joke about blueberries, actually. So I was working at a blueberry farm, true story. It does happen, actually. I do work at blueberry farms in the summer, but so I bought, I brought this up to everyone. There are a lot of Chicago families coming to pick blueberries, go to Michigan. Basically what they're saying is that, we got 2 different kinds of blueberries here. We got Blue Rays and Blue Crop. So in between those though, we got DVDs. Thank you guys. I'm BJ Woodcocks, that was my joke. Keep it rolling. Hey, we got some other, comics going to the stage. We got art. Give it up for my cousin Art. Don't thank everybody. Give it up for BJ.
All right, I gotta tell a couple stories. Being an Italian boy, not my first time in the Di Loretto Club. Although my family was Di Amici, so You know, they were from the other side of the river, so. So a while ago, I got
What
this.
side of the river?
The south side, the good side.
Oh, no, the north side, better. Money
You
feet.
people from the north side, jeez. I don't know. But anyway, a few months ago, I get this hankering for my grandmother's homemade bread. Now, she's been dead for 25 years, so I'm like, somebody's got to have the recipe. So I started reaching out to a bunch of my cousins, and I'm like, hey, you get Grandma Tamborini's bread recipe? And I sent out kind of a blanket email to everybody, and I get 6 different recipes for my grandmother's bread, none of which are the fucking same.
Of course. Why
So,
wouldn't it be the same?
so I'm looking at them, and we had a family gathering, so I'm talking with my mom and my aunt, and I go, hey, I said, what's up with your mother? I said, she gave everybody this recipe for the bread, but they're not the same. There's something missing or different in each one. And my aunt looks at me and goes, well, you know, that was just her way. She would do that so that everybody would taste it and go, oh, there's something off, and that they would think about her and remember the way her bread tasted, you know, and that was just her way to be remembered. And I'm like, oh, really? And my aunt walks away, and my mother's sitting there drinking 7-7, and she goes, nah, she was just a mean old bitch.
Yay!
Yeah. So, you know, my grandmother she cooked all the time. And my grandmother baked the bread. But my grandfather, he made the spaghetti sauce. And he would start Thursday night to make spaghetti sauce for Sunday afternoon's family dinner. So Sunday we all come over, and we'd all be downstairs, and my grandfather would be stirring a big pot of spaghetti sauce. And he'd look at somebody and go, bread's done. Go upstairs and get a loaf of bread. Somebody'd run upstairs, you'd get a loaf of bread, he'd bring it downstairs, he'd break it with his hands, and we'd all dip it into the sauce and sit there and eat the spaghetti sauce. Well, on one fateful day, one of my cousins decides, yeah, she's going to go upstairs and get the bread. So she goes upstairs, and we hear this commotion in the kitchen, and somebody cussing in Italian, and she comes back downstairs, and this loaf of bread has been mangled.
Is she dead now?
And we're like, damn near. She comes down,
better
we're
be.
like, what the hell did you break it up for? Grandpa always breaks up the bread. And she's like, Grandma hit me with it. And we're all sitting there going, well,
And you
what'd you do? And she goes, well, you know, I walked upstairs and my mother said, what are you doing up there? She goes, I came up to get a damn loaf of bread for Grandpa. And she said, Grandma grabbed that loaf of bread and whack, 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 whack. Like, son of a gun. So we eat the sauce. So some years later, my grandmother has now become, we'll say it nice, senile. And she's living with my mom. It's Christmas Day, and her job was to sit and stir the pot. So that's all she did. Stir the pot and drink 7-7s. So she's stirring the pot and she's got the 7-7 in her hand. She's drinking. And she stopped every now and then and smacked somebody who was ever closest to go, hey, jingle the ice and go out of the glass. Somebody went and made her another drink. You bring it back to her. And she keep going. So I'm 30 years old. I'm standing in the kitchen with my cousins and my brothers, and we're shooting the breeze. My grandmother's stirring the pot, drinking her 7-7. And I don't even remember exactly what the conversation was, but I say to one of my cousins, you gotta be fucking kidding me. She hauled off and cranked me in the back of the head with this metal spoon that she'd been stirring the pot, looked at me and said, son of a bitch, done cuss in the kitchen. put it right back in the fucking pot and kept stirring. So I'm sitting there. Oh yeah. Clapping that shit. You weren't the one getting abused by the old Italian lady. Yeah. You know, I'm sitting there. I got marinara sauce all over my head. I got a big lump, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm seeing stars. My cousins are all like, ah! I'm like, my mother comes walking in and goes, what the hell happened? I was like, I don't know. Nana fucking hit me. Whack! She smacks me again. Don't stop! Go sit in the kitchen. Right back in the pot. And I'm sitting there. I was like, oh my God, I'm seeing stars. My cousins are like, oh my God. They're going to their wife. Artie just got hit by grandma. She beat the shit out of him. It's funny as hell. Oh God, this is the greatest Christmas ever. My mother looks at me and goes, would you stop harassing her? Harassing her. 90-year-old woman's beating the shit out of me with a metal fucking spoon on Christmas Day, and I'm harassing her. She's sitting there, and she's looking at me, and she's just staring me down, waiting for me to cuss again. just giving me the eye. And she stirred. Next thing I know, jingle, jingle, jingle. I take the glass. I go, I make her another 7 and 7. I bring it back to her. Yeah, Merry fucking Christmas to you too. I was like, what the hell? You can cuss in the kitchen, but not me.
You don't work in the kitchen,
That's
of course.
right. She jingled that spoon at me, stuck it back in the pot, and kept going. So, anybody else?
Rachel!
The choice is calling you to the stage.
I just have a couple seconds here to follow up with what Art said, and that is my quiet in the back table, man.
Yeah, Rachel, shut up.
I have a saying, and my saying is, don't make me come over there.
Oh, I
Okay, so this is short and sweet, but as far as Italian relatives go, Art's right on the money. And my deceased husband, God bless him, he told me about his grandmother, who was about this tall and a very mighty person, and he had to stand on a step stool and he would stir the sauce. No 7 and 7s for him. But at any rate, he says, I got a cousin Tommy that you've never met. And he said, Velma, every time there's a picture of me and cousin Tommy and his brother, cousin Tommy looks like this in the picture. And I said, Steve, what the fuck that all about? He says, well, Tommy always was acting up, and my grandmother could throw a moccasin or a slipper from like 75 fucking yards completely accurately and beat him in the head. Italian, and my father told me the same thing about his mother. If he came in 1 minute after midnight, the shoot, I mean, they were like throwing ninja stars, but they were moccasins. And so he told me that cousin Tommy, every picture of cousin Tommy's like this. And that's all I have to say. Art's right on the money with the big one.
They should have had an Italian baseball team.
Yeah.